Is there anyone, in your estimation, that shouldn't look into barefoot shoes, barefoot living?
If you have a, I'm going to say demonstrable biomechanical problem. I'm chuckle when I say that because I've gotten emails like, my doctor confirmed that my left leg is 1/4 of a millimeter shorter than my right leg every other Thursday if the sun is out. I mean, it's like, crazy, crazy. People love to argue for their limitations.
Mm,
Um, if you have the kind of thing you're getting treated for all the time, you probably know. If you're a normal human being with normal aches and pains, I can't think of a way not to. Now, that said, if you're happy running in your big, thick, whatever shoe with a pointy toe box and et cetera, great, do it. But you may want to consider wearing something like these, like what we do, when you're done running for a couple reasons.
right.
The research shows this: walking in a minimalist shoe builds strength as much as doing an exercise program.
Mm,
The research shows doing that exercise program reduces running injury risk by 250% over the course of a year. So run in whatever you want, put on a pair of these for some active recovery because your feet are bending, moving, flexing, for walking around casually, because that can build up strength, could build up strength. And it'll also make those expensive shoes last longer.
mm.
I, I met someone the other day. They have 5 pairs of those super expensive super shoes, and they rotate a different pair every day. I go, they're all going to wear out at the same day. I mean, you just postpone the inevitable.
Yeah.
So, just wear one till it wears out, then wear the next one. It'll save you a bunch of money. It's no different, because the idea was, you're giving the shoes time to uncompress, but that new foam uncompresses like super fast. That's the whole point of it. By the way, here's my favorite thing about that, the foam they use. The scientific term that the companies who developed it use, they call it supercritical foam. In the materials world and in the chemistry world, supercritical means about to blow.
Mm.
So the carbon fiber that's in there is there just for structure, because without it, those things would fall apart instantly. We have a marathoner who, at the Boston Marathon, it rained and a bunch of those shoes started falling apart.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. What do you say to people who, because I've had this conversation, I'm just not as clued up and kind of my explanation probably isn't satisfactory enough for them. But I've had people look at my shoes or ask questions, or see me even just working out with no shoes on, and say something like, well, I can't do that because I have the flat feet, or I need the orthotics to fix my arches. Is there a way for those people? Is there hope?
Dude, I had comedy level flat feet my whole life. Until I started. I mean, like, I literally had, you can't see it anymore. I wish I had pictures. There's a muscle right in front of my heel on the inside of my foot, the medial side of my foot, that was like kind of blown out, made my foot kind of oval shaped. As I started strengthening my feet by using them, that muscle was not overworked, and now my foot looks like a foot. I get out of a hot tub, it doesn't look like an oval with dots, it looks like a foot. Now, I don't have a huge arch because arch height is predominantly genetic. Arch strength is what can affect arch height. If you think if flat feet, if you think it's a problem, it's typically that your ankles and feet just aren't strong enough. And again, use it or lose it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rocket science. It's funny. People go to the gym, they work on everything from the ankle up, and they don't work on doing anything from the ankle down, which is the part that supports everything from the ankle up.
Yeah. Foundation, right?
Yeah. You talk to powerlifters, even the bench press starts with your feet.
Right.
And the stronger your feet, the more you can spread your toes and grip the ground and push out of the ground, the better. We were at a powerlifting meet. This woman's trying on one of our shoes, and they call her name for the bench. And she's like, I got to go. I got to keep these shoes on. She runs over. She comes back. She goes, I just set a 20-pound PR.
So I'm keeping them.
That's what happened. We gave them to her.
It's amazing. All right, friends, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Radical Health Radio. We got a fresh new podcast for you every Wednesday. If you enjoyed the show, consider liking, subscribing, reviewing, and rating us on your podcast platform. It helps us spread this message of radical health. We'll see you next week.